Welcome to the Cafe of Dreams, where we are having a special cutting-edge Master Mentor series today. And I'm so delighted to have as my guest Mr. Edward Wedbush, the president and founder of Wedbush Securities right here in Los Angeles, California. Welcome, Ed, to the Cafe of Dreams.
My pleasure. Lynn Kitchen, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
And you know, it's probably so important to understand that in the Cafe of Dreams, what we love to talk about is the power of mentorship. And you probably don't know this, Ed, but you've been a mentor of mine for many, many years. I was 35 years in the securities business here in Los Angeles. I had my own broker dealership for 10 years and also was partner in an investment advisory firm that we cleared through Wedbush for over 20 years, based in Pasadena, California. And so you've been a mentor of mine all this time because you have really been one of the leaders in the investment advisory and the investment firm here in the West Coast, and probably one of the firms that has withstood many mergers and are probably the only West Coast-based financial firm of this size still left on the West Coast. Isn't that right?
That is correct, yes.
And you started here in 1955,
correct.
Isn't that right?
That's correct, in June of 1955.
So I wonder if maybe you could give us just a little overview of what it was like to start your own company, and how was it that you came about actually coming up with the idea of being an entrepreneur?
All right, thank you. The idea of becoming some kind of an entrepreneur in the securities business with me began when I was only 16 years of age. Even though I was in I went to college in my first year at 16 years of age in engineering, but my passion was in the securities industry. I was really very interested in capitalism. I knew what freedom was, of course. My parents, my father worked for 45 years at Union Electric of Missouri and took care of a family of 5 children. I was the oldest of the 5. And notwithstanding the difficulties of challenges economically of going to college, I wanted to go there, and so I got a scholarship to go to engineering school at the University of Cincinnati. But for the next almost 12 years of college, I spent a lot of my time reading the Wall Street Journal and studying capitalism and reading every book in the library in St. Louis regarding the securities industry.
And there was a moment then that there was a time that you and a friend of yours had a bet.
Yes.
What happened there?
Well, his name is Robert Werner, and he and I were friends in grade school. We went to the same school. We were friends in high school. We went to separate colleges. He, St. Louis University, and I went to the University of Cincinnati. And when we graduated, we met in his kitchen one day, and he was married, had a wife at that time, still the same wife, and we decided that we would form a brokerage firm. Unlike students today who come out with a lot of debt, we both had $5,000 of savings, and we decided to form a firm. And the debate was, what should be the name? And so he said it should be Wedbush and Company, and I thought that was okay, but I decided I would vote for Werner and Company.
That was his last name?
That was his last name.
Okay.
And so we flipped a coin on the kitchen table. It had bounced all across the table, then bounced on the floor and rolled off to the side, and I lost the bet. So we named it Wedbush and Company and started the firm at that point in time with $10,000. We had revenues of $659 in the first year, and we grew exponentially in the second year to revenues of $1,600. So you can imagine how much we did not get paid.
Yes, but it formed in the kitchen. That is wonderful. And that is significant because what we love to do is talk about when your dreams are born and what it takes to bring a dream into fruition.